Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I am Brandon. Alongside me always is Kenny and Andrew. Today, we've got a cool video for you. This is going to be one of those reviews, kind of our new forgotten movie series that we're doing. We just recently released No Way Out, Kevin Costner, that review. Such a good movie, kind of a hidden gem almost now, I think.
Yeah.
It was really popular at the time. I mean, it got really good reviews at the time, but I don't think people remember. I know I sure as hell don't remember it. And this is one of those things too. I remember it coming out, and I just, for some reason, I missed it, and I never did watch it.
Fell through the ether.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who watched it at the time, but it kind of got generally favorable reviews, but it didn't do well at the box office. So just real quick, came out in 2003 on a $50 million budget, only made $55.5 million at the box office. Or something like that. Not good.
And for Denzel, this is post-Training Day, one of his biggest movies.
Right?
So it's kind of a step down.
Denzel doesn't make a lot of bad things. I mean, there's very little that you could say. It's kind of like Tom Cruise and a couple other people that just don't really make bad movies.
Might have a clunker every now and again, but
really rare.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got some damn good stuff, man. And this is one of them. And I really, really enjoyed this. This, like I said, slipped through the cracks. We're going to talk about this, though, and we're going to give it a review at the end. For anybody interested, you can find it on Tubi right now. So, still on Tubi when at the time you see this, and you haven't maybe even watched this movie or haven't watched it in a long time, go back and watch it.
For free.
On Tubi. Yeah, you got to put up those pain-in-the-ass ads, man. I feel like the ads are a little worse than they were.
Yeah. Still not as bad as some streaming services.
I agree. But I kept getting hit with like 4 or 5 ads at a time. They were like 45 seconds.
Like I don't need, like, you just took up 5 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I don't need that many ads. Like, well,
come on, Tubi, I'm out of time.
I know exactly. I feel like the movies I've watched here recently didn't have ads quite that bad and that often. So they're getting worse, or maybe it depends on the movie. I don't like. Anyway, go watch it on Tubi. It's still free. And of course, it's not edited or anything like you would see on TV with ads.
Right.
So go ahead and tell us about it.
Denzel Washington plays Matthias Whitlock. He is the sheriff of Banyan Key, Florida, and he's recently made this bust where he's got $485,000 sitting in his safe of drug money.
Yeah,
and the DEA is wanting it, and it's held up in his political red tape. At the meantime, his life's a mess. Eva Mendez is his soon-to-be ex-wife. And she's kind of left there to go on to be a Fed.
Yeah.
And so he's dealing with all of that. And in the meantime, he's having an affair with Santa Lathan in this. I think her name was Anne in the movie.
Yeah.
They're trying to go back behind her husband's back. He's Dean Cain plays him, and
Superman.
He's a slime ball in this
Superman.
thing.
Yeah, and other than Superman, Dean Cain's roles are always slime ball roles. I don't understand why Dean Cain is always a slime ball. If it's not a Christian-ish movie,
he's a creep.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, he finds out that she has this cancer and it's terminal. And so they're looking at all these, alternate therapies. And she finds this one that's like $400,000 or whatever. And he ends up giving her the money. And we'll get into the spoiler here. She disappears. Her and her husband, they fake their deaths, disappear. Suddenly he's caught. The DEA comes in. They want their money back, and they.
Yeah, and the reason why he had mentioned he gave her the money. Another reason why is not because he felt sorry for her and was kind of falling for her a little bit. He told her, he's like, it'll be wrapped up in red tape for years. A lot of times these things will happen. Take years and years. I mean, it won't matter. Just take it.
Yeah.
And his friend, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, who works for the department. Is he forensics or what is he?
He's the coroner.
Yeah,
basically.
But he's a good friend. He's kind of odd, like most people are in that line of work in these movies. But he was trying to get him to take the money to do some kind, like leave and do some kind of business venture with him, business investment with him. He's like, just stop acting like a cop for 5 minutes and then think about this, man. It's a lot of money. And Denzel's like, no. And then, but he had to change your heart with this because he's, this woman and her husband, this woman conned him. And, at first, and we're talking spoilers here, of course. At first, you don't really know how deep the level of con is as far as she goes because Dean Cain is portrayed as a slime from the beginning.
Yeah, like he's beating her.
Yeah, she says he's beating her and all this stuff. And, at first, you think that it's just him making her do that and whatever being a part of it, and then you find out the whole cancer was a ruse. They hired an actor, the guy that they're working with or whatever that's hired.
They split town.
Yeah, they split town. Burned their house to the ground, stole some bodies from the morgue with the help of that one dude who I guess worked in the morgue as well.
Yeah, they both worked in the morgue. I was trying to think of his name. Cabot.
Yeah, Cabot.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point, Denzel, it's a race against the clock. Very similar to No Way Out in a way.
Yeah, this actually reminded me of No Way Out.
Yeah, that he's got to he's got to try and stay one step ahead, cover his tracks of the police force while he's trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Because he's running out of time.
In
the meantime, they've sent his ex-wife in.
Yeah, as to
because she's got a double homicide to look at.
Yeah. So she's taking up shop. So she's taking up shop in his shop, and So she's watching him close.
So you could just feel the anxiety.
Oh my God!
I get it just watching this movie
that he's going through.
I don't think there was hardly a scene in this movie where Denzel wasn't sweating.
Yeah,
like just
beating off his hair,
from the Florida humidity.
No, not no. He was sweating less during the sex scenes. This is some serious shit here.
Yeah,
I love the opening scene to this where she calls him in and she's reporting that there's a prowler outside.
Yes,
and calls him in and how close was he seeing? And she pulls him like this.
Yeah.
What did he do? He grabbed me like this.
Yeah, a little role playing.
Yeah, it's funny.
And there was more prowler work, lineage in the movie later too with the old woman next door, and she implicated herself pretty bad. He was able to kind of laugh it off, and then she just started pointing at every black man.
Yeah, it looks like him.
her niece was like, "I'm sorry, she was born in a different time."
Yeah, so she starts to kind of apologize and take her out of there, and then the other black guy walks in. And she's like, "Oh, wait." But yeah, you could definitely. There's some things that were a little over the top as far as like him trying to quickly
delete phone records.
Alter phone records. Like, I don't know if you could scan those in and delete them that way as quick, especially on a 2003 computer. But maybe, I don't know. It was a little bit unbelievable. Everybody I think maybe just gave him the benefit of the doubt because he was the chief, as nervous as he was acting. Because I mean, he had guilty written all over him.
Oh yeah,
and his ex-wife was kind of on to him.
She was.
She knew something was up.
Yeah,
she did. She stayed pretty hot on his trail too, but he managed to stay ahead of him for a little while, and by the end, you kind of figure out that the woman was just as bad as Dean Cain's character and Chris in this.
Worse.
Yeah, maybe worse because she was beating herself and she ends up killing him. Chris, she shoots Dean Cain. And then I'll talk about this in a little bit, but the ending ended up okay. Like it was a good ending, and Denzel managed to get, luckily the money was still safe and he was able to get the money back and give it to the DA, and him and Eva lived happily ever after. They were, she was going to divorce him and now that she's not.
Yeah. I want to talk about this though. It's kind of a con. Just looking back, it's kind of funny. Che, his drinking buddy, it was like, oh, well, here's the money and you're the beneficiary, because the girl made him to kind of implicate him as being in on this. And he's like, $1 million, man. And she's like, Eva Mendes is like, he can't take that. It's a conflict of interest. Yeah, but being in on the jurisdiction of your ex-husband's town is not.
Yeah, right.
When you really look at things for what they are.
Well, also she said something about the arresting. He's arresting officers. Like, are you technically an arresting officer of someone who's dead? You know what I mean? I don't know how you would write a arrest report on. I mean, that don't make any sense. They're dead. You still got to file it, and that might just be my ignorance to police work. But that's not. If she's dead, I wouldn't call that. And he didn't arrest her technically. I wouldn't call that a conflict. I would call that arrest anyway, real arrest.
Right.
But really, it comes down to: does my ex-wife, my soon-to-be ex-wife, now still my wife, getting back together, doesn't want me to take money from my mistress that is now dead, that she had to kill? It's just it's some little morality, but. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys.
Take the money.
We can argue about this in the comments if you want. And I talked to Jen about this too, because she's like, I take the money. And then she's like, wait a minute. Maybe is me and Eva Mendes the only one in the world without morals? Because I'm like, I'm taking the fucking money. And I said, listen, here's the thing. They were going to get divorced, which he didn't want. He loved Eva Mendes still. Yeah. He loved her more than he did
Yeah, he wasn't signing the papers.
And yeah, he just wasn't. Yeah, but Evil was divorcing his ass, and during this little split up, he had himself a little rendezvous every now and then with Anne, who was was cheating on Chris knowingly. Come to find out, but this was all, and he didn't know any better. He was being tricked by a woman, and I'm not saying he didn't fuck up by giving her the money, but by the end of it, he went through all this trouble trying to be a nice guy. He went through all this trouble trying to clear his name of murder and all this stuff. He got the money back, and he got shot for his troubles too by the woman that that tricked him.
If we're going to go by law, he should be going to prison,
right?
So giving her the money,
right? So here's the thing: he got off of that. He gave the DA their money. Everybody's happy. Let the man have $1 million. Even hell, if it's going to be a problem with your job, let him fire you.
Right.
I'll take the $1 million and go. Being a policeman sucks anyway.
Right.
I'll take the $1 million any day. Now I know $1 million's not a lot really anymore, but it is to me.
Right.
So I can make a lot happen in with $1 million. Anyway, and it's not like he was living great. That little dock home he had, that was a shithole.
On the boat, living on the boat.
Yeah, little boathouse thing. Yeah,
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, batching it.
Yeah, if you're batching it, I'm not going to live on a houseboat with my wife.
Well, right, but she's said something about moving in. She's moving her shit back in. So if they're both
moving your shit in, where?
The house.
There's not enough room.
Yeah, I would be if I was him. I'd be taking my shit to her house,
right?
Because she probably had the house. I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember all that whole mumbo jumbo they were talking about in the middle. But if that was the house that they were staying, take that $1 million, dude.
Get out of there.
I'm sorry.
Get a better house.
Get a better boathouse. Get a better lake, like river, like ocean house or something. You know what I mean? Beach house. Like that's bullshit.
I don't think you can get one for $1 million.
No, but I just wouldn't live on the beach.
It's Denzel. What do we know?
Yeah, but living in a fucking shanty on a dock, nah, man. Nah, man. Go to a cabin. Go get a cabin with a lake and put fish in it, and you can fish off the lake. Don't you know what I mean? Like. Ocean life ain't that great. I'm sorry.
See, I beg to differ.
No, it's not that good.
Let's go pros and cons in this movie.
Okay. Pros, great suspense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty decent action at times. But
when there was action.
When there was.
Denzel.
That's being Denzel-y. Right, he was Denzel-y up good.
I want to talk about, I didn't think there was enough scenes with him and Dean Cain.
I
the
agree.
tension there, holy cow! That
the bar scene,
the passive aggressiveness was almost funny.
Oh yeah, it was.
He's like, thank you for the conversation, thank you for listening.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. When he says, "Give Ann your best for me, if you can." Man,
yeah. It was some shady
Said
stuff.
I'm banging your wife and do better if you can.
Yeah,
Good golly.
Oh yeah, it was rough. Good.
It was good.
Acting was great, man. Acting was so good in this. There was, like I said, a lot of good suspense scenes. There was a few things that are a little questionable, but I'm not going to freak out about like the editing of the phone records.
Yeah, it's a movie.
I feel like that was a little bit too easy. And then him, him shuffling around and unplugging shit, without them seeing, and then hitting cancel so the fax wouldn't come in, then his shit would come in. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But more often than not, this movie grabbed me.
Yeah.
And the pros are just, this is a fucking good movie.
The friend Shay in this thing, or Che,
another pro.
Oh my goodness, yes.
He's a friend that you want to have.
He reminded me a lot of Tom Arnold in True Lies.
Yeah,
very similar character.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, I love him.
He's the kind of guy that you could do, because he was kind of like trying to convince him to take the money anyway. Just being, because he's not about that life. He don't have the strongest morals. So he's the guy that would be like, you could tell, hey, I'm having an affair, or I just killed somebody. He'd be like, oh fuck, dude, man, what are you doing? Yeah. All right, let's get this cleaned up.
Let's figure out how do we.
Yeah, that's a friend you want to have.
We're in a maze. How do we get to the cheese?
Yeah, exactly. That's a friend you want to have. For sure. I love the character. I loved it, and he was a little bit of comedy side. The comedy.
When he cut him off at the bar, this guy's been overserved.
Well, at the end, like he was tracking him on GPS, but then his car broke down. And then then it rained on him,
and that last scene where he finally brings the money to him, and he's like, "I thought you told me to bring this to the assholes on 53rd Street." Yeah. No, I told you to bring this to the assholes on 63rd Street.
Right.
That was great.
And then a little banter after they left. Yeah. He's like, I thought that was low. I thought that was pretty good. He's like, yeah, I thought it was low over the top. He's like, over the top. He's like, yeah, your part was over the top. Oh, my part was over the top. I thought that was good. There's tons of pros, but the only cons I think I had the real cons, was they didn't explain what happened to Anne. Like, that made her that way. Because there's a history with her and Denzel in this movie.
From high school.
They kind of dated and saw each other. He knew her since she was a kid. They knew each other. So she was like 2 or 3 years younger than him. And she left and then she come back and they set up this thing and they screwed him over. But I don't remember necessarily knowing, and there it could be something I missed, but I don't remember there being a spot where she would have known about the money. You can assume that she'd found out just from being close to him.
It was in the newspaper.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
In the beginning.
Okay, so
because he was reading the paper in that diner.
Okay, so maybe that was what.
But like, what made her?
But what made her
a piece of shit?
Right? Yeah. What made her turn into a crazy ass? Was she always that way? Before they could really go through any kind of reveal, she was just like going nuts with the gun at the end, shot him in the leg, and then she was shooting all over him. And then but then she'd act shocked, like oh my god, this like well, the point, take your finger off the trigger if you don't want to shoot, or like she was going insane. And then Eva had to come in and.
Yeah, her character's a little uneven.
That was the worst part about it. It was like, man, what the fuck is happening here? Other than that, just wanting to know kind of more about the villains to see what the hell they were doing and why. Just to kind of get a little more backstory on them, I think would have been cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, this is a solid movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the investigation and stuff they're doing, a lot of the lead up to that, like where Dean Cain's there in the morgue and he backs up into that body and it's kind of like, bingo, I've got my out there where I can put this corpse in and fake my own death. Yeah.
I knew, and that kind of tells you something's up.
Yeah.
With him and what's going to happen, especially when you read the synopsis and you're getting ready to go to the house after a house fire or some shit and you're like, oh, okay. Well, so right then the bodies, or at least a body, is going to not be real.
Right.
But it took until they finally they saw the real doctors, and then you realize that they were posers, and they said, you don't have cancer. You're like, fuck, she is in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Jen's like, immediately she's like, oh, she's how do you know? Just guess.
Because we get caught up in watching stuff, we don't really pay attention to the small details a lot of times.
Well, I don't know. She just if she knew there was a twist, she'd probably just like, well, this is probably what's going on, and it didn't make sense to me either. I think I was duped by the damsel in distress as a man. And as a woman, she's like, why did Denzel give her the money? And if she was supposed to meet him with the money at the house, why didn't he just take his money home, keep it in his truck, take it home, and then she could just meet him there later? Yeah. He gave her the damn money.
Plot device.
To get out. Yeah, it was a plot device to get out of there. So I guess you can call that another con. Yeah. But she's like that, and she's gone. She's not responding. Well, there's two choices here. Either she dead and Chris took off with it, or he did and she took off with it. Or I guess the third choice is they're both gone and they were both in on it. So it makes sense, but it's just like I think at first you're so wrapped up in the well, he's obviously a piece of shit and she's this victim, and you just completely fail to see that, oh well, she could be, she's playing this up.
Another pro in this movie.
They got me.
Another pro in this movie to me is Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
To quote the ladies' man, it looks like somebody took 2 fine hams and stuffed them down the back of her dress.
I know. And listen here, I was a big proponent of Eva Mendes back in the day. I was like, man, this chick's hot, and that's not completely untrue still. But then you look at those close-up shots of her face, and you're like, she's kind of a weird looking chick. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about her nose and that chin that you're like, man, she's like pretty ugly. Everything else is like good.
I always thought about that.
She's kind of
Penelope Cruz.
Butterhead. People are gonna light me up in comments like that over that. But she's Butterhead. How dare you, piece of shit, objectifying a woman?
Right.
No, but I mean, just like,
bastard.
But yeah, kind of a Butterhead. She's not the ugliest thing ever, but she's just there's just like certain features from certain angles. You're like, there's certain angles where Eva Mendes is like pretty, but then the other just like
every angle in that office.
And the same with Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have them close up shots. Don't do that, man.
Like
wait, oh no, baby, what is you doing? Yeah, she's pretty ugly. You guys got any more pros or cons?
The only other thing is, I feel like it's maybe short an action scene or two. Like there's plenty of suspense, and there's a pretty good action scene when those guys go over the balcony toward the end. Yeah. But I felt like there could have been like another action scene in there, maybe.
Well, I remember by the end of it, and don't get me wrong, I love this movie. I did. And I'll watch it again one of these days. and maybe it's just because it was like before you guys were coming over and I had to set up and all that stuff, and I was trying to get it, get it watched in time. I was out of time. But I was like, I looked at an hour and 30 to hour and 45 minutes is a good spot for a movie.
Yeah.
And it's an hour and 45. And I'm like, why does this feel like the longest hour and 45 minutes ever?
Yeah. And
it's not because the movie's bad. I think it's just because I was like, by the last 15 minutes, I was like, I got to get done.
Yeah.
Before, Yeah, I think there are a few places where I think we could have added a little bit more action.
We needed some more action.
Yeah. Especially, you could have probably cut it down to an hour and 35 and
maybe
been fine.
Yeah.
Or at least give me, during all that setup at the beginning before the house fire, because it took a little bit, let's give me a little backstory. And I think there could have been a little more action at the end with her maybe scrapping with Eva, or there could have
something.
She could have revealed what happened to her or something, or why all my life, I'm not going back to this. I'm not going, because there was even a remark in that voicemail or whatever, or the phone records or whatever it was they went through, it was a conversation with Cabot and Dean Cain with Chris.
Yeah,
where he's like, she has more she has just as much to lose or something like
right.
that. What does that mean?
They never really expand on that.
No. Yeah. What's that mean? They could have done that. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie out of rating 5 out of 5. I'm going to give it about a 3 3/4.
3 3/4. I can dig it.
Yeah. A little bit more action and explain what the backstory of these criminals just a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, you don't have to go crazy because I didn't have a huge backstory on Hans Gruber, but at least that was a little simpler of he's a thief.
Yeah.
Yes.
But these guys are con artists. But I kind of just want to know if she was playing this part and he knew her from a kid, then I feel like it's almost necessary to explain what happened to her.
Yeah, why she like this?
Yeah, or she always been like this. Anyway, that's just me. But yeah, 3 3/4 I think is pretty solid.
Yeah. It's a solid Denzel movie.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those that I think get lost somewhere because you start thinking about movies like Training Day and maybe The Bone Collector was another one of those too. But Training Day's bigger, and then the Equalizer movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
was a Man on Fire was another one.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a really good.
That's
movie.
Might have to do that one sometime. Okay, so anything else you want to say?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Solid movie. It's on Tubi right now. Definitely go watch it. Out of Time. Denzel Washington. Very good. And if you want to see Dean Cain in another slimeball role that's not Superman, then there he is. He's actually and it's kind of cool to see him in a bigger movie with a big star.
Yeah.
That's not something that's straight to DVD or some shit. That's pretty cool. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. What we're going to do next? We were going to try and find a way.
We're going to try to find the hard way because Kenny wants to do the hard way.
Okay.
And we've done one of yours and one of mine. So we're going to try to find that. If we can't find that, do we want to do like a Why We Love or something? Like maybe you want to do like Highlander or something?
Yeah, we can do something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that.
So it'll be one or the other next time we do like a solo review like this.
Sounds good. Be sure to let us know in the comments what you think of this movie. If you've seen it, we want to hear from you. Until next time.
We're out of here.